Well, greetings everyone, this is Brett Darian here, and I have a special video for you today. I'm going to be unboxing this Panasonic 8-track player and recorder. This is the model RS-856, and it is complete in its original box. It's not quite new old stock because this box has been opened and presumably the machine has been used at some point. But my hope is that since it's in its original box, that means that either it hasn't been used that much, or at the very least it has been well taken care of, which is very important when you're buying audio equipment that's this old, because it's very fragile and it probably needs some maintenance, some work done to it. But the eBay seller said this is working, but he was still selling it as not working or for parts for some reason, probably just because of the nature of the product and how sometimes when you ship this stuff in the mail it can arrive damaged or not working. So hopefully I get lucky with this. But either way, for how old this box is, it is in great shape. A little bit of writing on it, but it is pretty much mint almost. Maybe a little crinkles here and there. But for being probably about 45 years old at least, this is in excellent shape. So without further ado, let's unbox this and then we'll go into more detail. So unboxing a complete in-box 8-track player and recorder. So there's the player right there. Carefully slide it out. Nothing else left in the box. Lower the camera down a little bit. Take off this styrofoam. And there you have it. You even have the original operating instructions. Really nice to have. A little bit of maintenance there as well. And looks like there's even a limited, the warranty card's even included with it as well. So that's really cool. That's really nice to have. No service manual, but that is archived online. Okay, so here it is, the Panasonic RS-856. You got your door here where you put your 8-track. You got your indicator lights for which program you're listening to, and your program button here for switching between the 4 individual programs on the 8-track. You even got a pause button, and this does record as well, and you even get a fast forward, which is uncommon for an 8-track player. You also have these knobs here which control not just your record level but also your playback level, and your tape counter reset, your record indicator light, and even LED VU meters, which is also very uncommon for an 8-track player. On the side here we get more of that simulated wood grain as noted by this sticker here on the top. And on the back we get the power plug here, and our line out and line in cables are actually hardwired, which is also unusual. Usually most players will just have the RCA jacks back here, but these actually have the cables hardwired to the machine. So I'm not sure how I feel about that, because this way you have to use these cables, you can't use your own. Though I have seen people modify this and they still put their own cables here. Now before we do anything else, let's see if this machine actually works. Now I have it plugged in right now, but the machine will not turn on until you put in a 8-track cartridge. So I did find 3 blank 8-track cartridges at the thrift store. I don't know what's on them, obviously. And my hope is that they contain some interesting old radio recordings, but most likely they just contain recordings from vinyl. But either way, we will use these to test this machine out. So let's put this in and see if it plays. Well, it looks like it is spinning, but there's nothing showing up on the VU meters. I don't have it plugged into speakers, so you won't hear any sound. Well, actually, I have the knobs turned all the way down. Let's see if... Well... No, there's still no activity on the LED meters. But that's the fast forward in action. The fast forward only plays the tape back at twice the speed, so it's not that fast. So it looks like there's probably nothing on this tape. Let's try another one. So this is the second one. I'm hearing some weird noises. Let's well, it looks like it's okay. Yeah, it kind of sounds weird in the mechanism, so I'm going to take this one out. And we'll try this one. Yeah, I'm still not hearing anything. I mean, well, I'm not going to hear anything because I don't have the speakers plugged in. But I mean that there's no activity on the LEDs, meaning that there very well may not be anything recorded on any of these tapes. I mean, there was nothing written on them after all, so maybe these tapes were just never used. I do like how quick and snappy the program change mechanism is. It's not very clunky like some of the other machines that I've looked at and seen on YouTube. Alright, let's open this machine up and see what's going on. Here's a look at the inside. Here's your power transformer right here. Here's the motor. It's a tape mechanism here. And that's the playback and record head right there. And this is the belt for the tape counter. Feels pretty good. And the actual drive belt, I think, is underneath all this. And this is the audio board here that handles all the sound and stuff. You can see the motor there has a manufacture date of March 13th, 1981. So this deck was probably manufactured slightly after that. So that's kind of late for the 8-track lifespan. So now let's put in a cartridge and see the mechanism in action. So once again, this belt here turns the tape counter, but this is also attached to the capstan, which is turning the tape in the cartridge. And when I press the program button, you can see the head lower down to program 2, and now back down to program 3, and now program 4, and then it goes back up to program 1. I'm happy to report that none of this plastic appears to be cracked in any way. I hear it's pretty common for this plastic housing here around the tape head to crack around the screw or maybe somewhere else, but none of this plastic looks like it is cracked. So everything looks like it is working properly, and overall it looks pretty clean in here. There's a little bit of dirt like right here underneath where the cartridge goes, but that dirt there is probably from like some old felt pads from the cartridges that just probably fell into the machine. Well, upon closer inspection, there actually is a crack. Right there to the bottom right of the playback head and record head, you can see a little crack right there. And you can see the head appears to be slightly crooked, and that's probably because of the crack. It'll still play back cassettes, but this can cause maybe a little bit of crosstalk, like music tracks kind of like doubling over each other. The head itself actually looks in pretty good shape, but unfortunately that plastic housing has cracked down there. So since it seems that there was absolutely nothing recorded on any one of the 3 cartridges that I got from the thrift store, I am going to try making my own recording on one of these cartridges, and we'll see how it turns out. So if you have an audio source connected to the line input, you can press and hold the record button without a cartridge in the machine, and the audio levels of your audio source will light up on the VU meter, and this will allow you to adjust your levels before you start recording to get the optimal level. It should be right about in the middle. And so you keep holding the record button down, then you stick in your cartridge, and now you're recording. So let's take a listen to some recordings that I made earlier.
This is Somber, your iHeartRadio On the Verge artist. That was my song, Back to Friends.
Yeah. Thank you. Far too kind.
As a nonprofit health system in Southern California's beautiful Coachella Valley, Eisenhower offers medical excellence alongside an exceptional quality of life. Start your day with sunshine and stunning landscapes. End it knowing you've made a difference. Deliver top-tier care with advanced technology, all in a place where work-life balance thrives.
Conveniently located in downtown Homewood, Evolve Holistic Wellness Studio and Boutique has an inclusive, open environment. They offer therapeutic massage, couples massage, a full spectrum of skincare for adults and teens.
So that has been the Panasonic 8-track stereo record deck, model RS-856. A very nice deck, but unfortunately this one here does need a little bit of TLC. If anyone does have any advice about how to maybe repair or glue that plastic housing around the head, I would appreciate it if you leave that in the comments. I will read all the comments and I will take any help I can get. I'm not very good on working on these machines. I'm afraid if I do take something out, I may not be able to put it back in. So if anyone has any advice, please leave it in the comments. I would appreciate it. But other than those couple of things, though, this machine does look to be in really good condition. It's really good cosmetically, and it does play back cartridges, and it does record on them, and it sounds fairly good as well as far as 8-track goes. There might be a little bit of wow and flutter, and the playback speed might be maybe slightly slow, but that's honestly not that unusual for one of these machines. I don't have any test cartridges, obviously, to test playback speed, but I'm pretty sure that can be adjusted using probably some pots on the board inside. But anyhow, guys, that'll do it for me for now. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this unboxing and this look at this 8-track player. And I will see you next time.